NCAA has another problem. Now, this is a twofold problem. The first problem is with all the upsets, which made for a fun first and second round, whether they be Marshall in the opening round, whether they be Illinois, Chicago, whether they be Loyola of Chicago, whether they be Nevada. There's a million. Buffalo. The upsets of the tournament, which really ignite what the first round's about. Syracuse over Michigan State. It kills the tournament later on. I was really looking forward to Duke. See, once you get to the Sweet 16, you want yourselves Power Fives to play. That's what I want. When I get to that Sweet 16, I want myself Power 5 conferences going head-to-head. I want big names having a chance to play. I don't want Loyola in Nevada, all right, which is going to be Thursday at 7:07 on CBS. I don't want that game. They buried that game. It's that 7 o'clock Thursday, first game Thursday night. That's a rough watch. That's one. I'll give you another one. Syracuse. Which is going to be late Friday against Duke. Syracuse is going to get mauled by Duke. I wanted Michigan State in that game. I did not want Syracuse in that game. Syracuse is going to, first off, Duke blew them out in the regular season. They scored 40 points against Duke. He knows his way around that defense behind Krzyzewski like you wouldn't believe. Syracuse doesn't have a chance to win that game. Not a chance. So from the standpoint, I don't have any problem. I would have preferred, no matter who Kentucky, I would have preferred Virginia with Kentucky instead of Kansas State. I would have preferred Virginia. Virginia-Kentucky be a juicy game. Kentucky-Kansas State's a snorefest. So they really have Florida State-Gonzaga. That game, now listen, Xavier wouldn't be that much better, but Florida State-Gonzaga, I'm not that 10:07 Thursday night. That's a rough watch. I don't have any problem with Michigan, Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M and Texas Tech, let's give Torrey the credit. He was high on both teams, especially Texas Tech. And Texas Tech, although they were helped by playing in Dallas, big-time help. Big-time advantage against Florida at home. That game will be, Texas Tech, beating Texas Tech and Texas A&M are good teams. Now, Purdue got amputated with the injury, so that bothers me. So if you look at this next round, I hate the games. Purdue's got a bad elbow. He's out. Haas, that kills him. All right. I hate Syracuse and Duke. Michigan State, Duke would have been a great game. Gonzaga, Florida State does nothing for me. Loyola, Nevada does nothing for me. Kansas State, Kentucky, any of those combinations but Virginia against Kentucky, I can't stand. I don't like these Sweet 16 games. And let's face it, folks. Let's face it. That left side of your bracket, Kentucky, whoever they may play down below, and I think Kentucky will get out of there, that is a terrible side. The whole tournament's going to come down to Duke, Virginia. Duke, Villanova. The whole tournament's going to come to that. They're the two best teams. Kentucky's got wonderful talent, and Michigan's hard to play and everything else. And Kansas is good, and that would be a hard game for Duke. Don't get me wrong. But the two best games, Duke's going to beat Syracuse. The best game of this tournament, the monster game, the game that will turn everybody on, and it will be a must-watch on Easter weekend, is Duke and Villanova. That is a hell of a game. And that is the game of this tournament from here on in. Everything else you can take. I hate watching West Virginia play. They bore the hell out of me. Purdue's got the kids out. Everything else, you can take. There's a couple games I'll find. Duke, Kansas is a pretty good game. I'll figure. I think Michigan A&M might be a decent game. A&M's strength and size. I'll find a few games, but the tournament now comes down to Duke and Villanova. The winner of that game should win the whole thing. Now, that's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing I wanted to say, and I'll make this quick, the tournament has lost its appeal and its charm because of its switch to TBS and TNT. Because TBS, TNT, and the aforementioned True TV, because of the fact that they spent $1 billion on the rights, and the fact that they have zero primetime shows to show anybody. They don't get a rating. The Seinfeld's not on TNT at 8 o'clock at night. All right, they have no shows. Hill Street Blues, sorry. NCIS, no, not there. Those shows that they have in nighttime are so bad that they die to put sports at night because they know they have an audience. That's why they paid through the nose with Major League Baseball. That's why they paid through the nose with college basketball. And that is why every time there's a property on the table, they try to get. Because they know that at night they can throw sports on and guys like you and me are going to watch it. They know that. But it kills the tournament. The fact of the matter is, in the second round, you have back-to-back days where literally you have 5 hours of college basketball, a niche sport at best, of one game at a time. The college basketball experience is about a lot of games at once and bouncing around. That a little, like a smorgasbord. A little of this, I'll have a little of that. Oh, there's something over there. That's what it's about. It's like going through a buffet line. The college basketball tournament is not about Villanova and Alabama on a Saturday afternoon by itself at 2 o'clock, followed by Duke and Rhode Island, followed by the first half of Kentucky Buffalo, or Purdue and Butler at 12:10 on Sunday. That's not what God forbid me watch that game. That is not what the college basketball tournament's about. And I'll tell you something else. When you play a second-round game on a Sunday night, I don't care if they put the game in Australia, all right? When you put the game on at 9:45 at night, 9:50 at night, you lose me. Okay? Sorry, you lose me. Sunday night, 10 o'clock, the only thing that's going to work there is a baseball playoff game, an NBA Finals game, or a Sunday night NFL game. College basketball, Marshall, West Virginia, is not going to get my eyeballs to the set at 9:45 at night. I'm sorry. Not happening. I mean, I have to do it, but you know what I'm saying. In the old days, Sunday, everything was noon to 7, the 60 minutes. That's the way the tournament should be played. 23 after the hour, we continue. Mad Dog Unleashed.